So you've had your first lucid dream and you were so excited, you were so amazed that you were finally lucid, but then about 10-15 seconds later the dream was over, it just faded out and that was it. Maybe you had another few lucid dreams after that and they were all just the same. So it didn't really matter that you were able to get lucid because they didn't last. What can you do about that? How can you keep your dreams stable? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot. It's me Matt here, and today I'm talking about dream stability. How can you keep your dreams lasting long and not, fading out and breaking down after just a few seconds? How can you get them to last long enough that you can actually do something and have some fun, learn some techniques, and just improve yourself and have an experience? Well, there are several ways that you can do this, and I'm just going to share a few of them right now. So the first thing is to engage your senses. Engage any of your senses. It doesn't matter which, but I personally like touch because it's just an easy one to think about in a dream. Like, I'm always touching things in lucid dreams anyway. So touch a surface. When you touch a surface and you feel just how real it feels, even though you're in a dream, it kind of solidifies the dream. Like, your mind is like, oh, this is real, and it kind of makes the experience feel more real. You can touch your hands if there's nothing nearby you, and in fact, this is one of the most common ways of stabilizing a dream. It's simply to rub your hands together. Rub them together fast or slow, whichever works for you. Try them both out. And you'll find that often the dream that is breaking down and becoming unclear and murky and fading away can suddenly come back to life and be all vibrant and vivid and real again. Now, another thing that you can do is spinning, and this is another very, very common one. But one thing that I will warn is that if you spin in a lucid dream, and I'm talking about, standing in a spot and just spinning around in circles, either fast or slow. If you do this in a lucid dream, well, it can keep the dream lasting longer. What it tends to do is actually get you out of that dream, just not wake you up. So what happens is you end up in this kind of blackness, this void. And in that void, you're going to enter another dream. You just have to be patient and wait like 10 to 30 seconds and just stare at the blackness, and before you know it, in a few seconds, just a new dream kind of opens up and you're suddenly inside a new dream. It's kind of cool to experience, but a lot of people, they do the spinning, they end up in the void and they think that they're just staring at the back of their closed eyes, so they open their eyes and they're awake in bed, which is the wrong thing to do because you're actually still asleep, but the moment you open your eyes you're not. So when you get to that void, just be patient and wait. Another thing that you can do is ask the dream for stability or for clarity or something. Now, a lot of people say that they do this out loud. They say the word out loud or they talk to the dream or whatever. That has never worked for me. So, it might work for you, it might not. But what I found that works for me is actually to say it in my head. I say it in my head like a mantra. I say, clarity or stability or stabilize or don't end even, just something that expresses that I say in my mind as a mantra when I'm in the dream. And usually that works. A lot of the time I forget to do that, but when I actually remember to do that, it normally works. Another tip is simply to slow things down. A lot of the time your dreams end because you're getting too excited. You see, what people don't realise is that REM, the stage of sleep in which you have to be in order to dream, is the state where you are actually most close to wakefulness. You would think it would be the opposite. You would think that you're in your most deep sleep when you're dreaming, but it's actually not true. You're actually most close to being awake when you're dreaming. You're very, very close to being awake. So the slightest things like a sound outside or someone in your room or whatever will startle you and bring you to wakefulness. But this also means that excitement in your dreams can cause the same thing. That's why a lot of the times, you'll have a falling dream or something and you'll be falling and falling and it just gets so intense that you just wake up before you ever hit the ground. It's not that you can't hit the ground in a dream. That's a complete myth. I've had falls where I've hit the ground, and the fact is, you can have a dream like that, but you get so excited that normally that kind of thing wakes you up. It's the same reason why you can have, a nightmare and you're just about to get attacked by some monster or something and then you wake up. It can be negative excitement like that, from fear, or it can be positive excitement, you're just so happy that you got lucid. That can wake you up. So you have to calm down a little bit, take things slow, don't rush into things. This is most important for beginners. If you just started in lucid dreaming, then don't set this goal of, going out and accomplishing all these things, your first lucid dreams. Your first lucid dream should just be, go into a lucid dream and look around. Don't do anything else. Don't try and spawn anything. Don't try and fly. Don't try and do anything crazy. Just look around and get familiar with the feeling of being in a lucid dream. Touch things, smell things, taste things even if you want to. Just look around, talk to characters, see what it's like. Maybe even follow along with the dream story that was already going on. You're in some war story or something in your dream. Just go along with it. Play along as if you're actually acting out a movie or something. Don't try to do anything too advanced right away. It can work. In fact, it probably will work for a lot of you if you try to do those things. But the problem is you will get so excited doing so much at once. You want to get familiar with the state. And the other thing is, when you get familiar with the state early on, this will make it easier to keep your dreams long later on. Because if you build up the habit of always trying to do the most exciting thing, then you're going to do that every dream, and it's going to be hard to keep them stable and hard to keep them long lasting. This was one of my mistakes when I was a beginner, is that for ages I was just trying to do the most advanced things I could think of right away, and so I was getting so excited. And like I would jump off and start flying right at the start of the dream before I'd even took in my surroundings, and it would just be overwhelming and wake me up. So take things slow, explore it, and just be curious. Just be really curious about the lucid dream state. Test things out, see what works, see what doesn't work, see what works best for you in particular, and see what things that you can actually do in lucid dream. Because there's some things that you might not realize that you can do, like shrinking buildings and expanding buildings, or creating characters from like movies and films and just making them appear in front of you, visiting worlds from video games that you play and stuff like that. There's all sorts of things you can do that you never even think of until you actually are in a lucid dream and try it. So think of things like that and just get curious with the process, learn a little bit about lucid dreaming before you dive in really deep with it. Now, as an extension of this tip for slowing down, you can just sit down in a dream, cross your legs and meditate and just chill there. Often meditation in a lucid dream can be a really intense transformational experience, like way more intense than actual meditation when you're awake. But also it can sometimes just stabilize things. When you're just sitting there and all you're doing is focusing on your breathing, you're not worried about anything else, then the dream has a chance to kind of unfold. Think of it like a computer that's generating a map. Your brain is this computer generating this whole map around you, all the characters, and it's programming it all. Well, if you just get into the dream, it's still loading a lot of that stuff. So if you're trying to dash off here, you might be going into an area of the map that hasn't loaded yet, and that might be where your brain is, saying, okay, I have to wake up now. That's the way that I look at it. That came to me from a particular experience I had. I had this experience when I first flew in a lucid dream. I shot up so fast that the town below me looked like it hadn't loaded. If you've ever played a video game and no-clipped outside of the map, and you just see the section of the map and missing sides and stuff, that's what the town looked like to me when I was flying above it. It just didn't load fast enough, and after that I woke up very quickly because of that. So now when I'm doing things like flying, I take it slow because I know that my brain has to actually be able to keep up with what I'm doing, and also I have to not go too fast so I don't get too excited. So keep that in mind, take things slow. The next tip that I have is actually to ask your subconscious what you should do to keep your dreams more stable. Because for everyone, the reason why your dreams are ending quickly is going to be different. It might be that your room is too noisy and sounds in real life are actually waking you up. It might be that you're getting too excited. It might be that you're trying to do things too fast. It might be that your dreams are just naturally shorter than other people's and you have to go to some extra effort to actually be able to keep them going longer. Whatever it is, it could be really different for you, and so this is why I suggest speaking to your subconscious. Now, how do you do this? Well, the way that you do this is, you just talk to a dream character or you talk to the sky or whatever and act as if it's your subconscious and just ask them. I actually did this and I found a tip for me that worked for me. I went up to a dream character and I said, look, my dreams aren't lasting very long, what can I do? And the dream character turned to me and basically told me to sit and meditate. So I sat and meditated, and sure enough, that dream there and then was like a 20-30 minute long dream when I'd only been having ones that were like 30 to 60 seconds before that. So you can ask your subconscious and sometimes it will tell you the solution. Anyway, that's been all for my tips. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, remember to subscribe over there for regular videos like this. If you like the video and you have some comments, share them down below. And if you want to keep watching, check out the video that's linked on screen. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.